Hey, what's going on, guys? On the Spot Sports here, and we're going to do another big podcast episode coming right up. We got some cool stuff to talk about regarding the NBA, and maybe even a little Q&A later. We'll stay tuned about that. But joining us for this episode is the usual. I am Tyler, joined by...
And I'm Jack.
And yeah, we're going to give you guys a breakdown of, like we said, NBA talk today. Maybe just a breakdown of maybe divisions, teams, how things will stack up in each conference. And, can't wait to get started. And I also just want to mention that you should go follow our Instagram. It's On The Spot Sports, well, underscores separate each word. So On The Spot Sports, underscore separate each words, so you can get our content and follow our Instagram. And YouTube is very simple as well, just On The Spot Sports. We got our podcast up. Our NFL one from last week is up, so I hope you guys enjoyed that one. That was a good one with special guest Andrew Freeman.
That was really a fun episode.
That was very, Common Sense Sport Talk. Go give them a follow on YouTube.
All of this will be in the description of our YouTube, so just go check out the links and subscribe.
For sure. All right, so we got another NBA episode coming up here, but this one is a little bit different. So I feel like the way we timed out our first one was honestly pretty bad.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Like, not even in the middle, just the very beginning. Like, it was right after the Anthony Davis trade, and we didn't know anything that was going to happen. I'm pretty sure we didn't know how this would all happen. So I feel like now everything's kind of, the dust is all settled here. I think we should finally get right into it. So we're going to do maybe like a team-by-team breakdown, maybe division breakdown. Definitely, I think, who would make the playoffs and who will not in the East and West, and maybe what to expect from this year coming up. So you want to get started on that, Jack?
Yeah, for sure. Let's start with the Eastern Conference right now. Do you want to go conference or by division?
We can do both. I honestly feel like we can do both. So.
All right, we should start with Eastern Conference Central, if you want to do that.
For sure. I believe that division is the 76ers, Raptors, Celtics, Nets, and Knicks, if I'm not mistaken. I think that division is going to be...
That's the Atlantic.
That's the... Oh, man, I'm really messing up on this division.
The Central. It's the Milwaukee Bucks, Indiana Pacers, Detroit Pistons, Chicago Bulls, and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
See, yeah, for some reason, basketball, I know which teams in each division. I'm just, like, the actual names, I miss out on them. So that division... I don't know if I'll just go first here a little bit, take on that. I don't even think this division is really much to be talking about. I feel like it's going to be maybe the same old story from last year. I think the Milwaukee Bucks are obviously the team to beat in that division, no question about it. Indiana may be a little bit behind them, not too much, but definitely Milwaukee is the team to beat in that division. I think the Bulls might be a little bit better than last year. They're slowly on the rise just a little bit. They seem to have brought a little bit of justice to this young team, and obviously trust new head coach, interim coach last year, Jim Boylan. So I think the Bulls might be a little bit behind in third or fourth. Detroit, look for them to be contenders as well for maybe that 8-9 spot, something like that. And I think the Cavaliers are coming down last in that division. I don't see them doing much.
Yeah, so nothing's changed really that much. Because last year was Milwaukee, Indiana, Detroit, Chicago, and Cleveland.
Yeah.
I don't see any team really challenging the Bucks in this division. Besides maybe like the Pacers. The Pacers might have a chance. But other than that, I don't see any good competition with the Bucks in this division.
And even if that, when Victor Oladipo went down, they were still down by a lot. So, if he's healthy, it could be a little bit closer, but I still don't see really anyone challenging the Milwaukee Bucks. Definitely the thing to beat.
Then I think Indiana Indiana and Detroit, I think, will be close this year.
Yeah.
Last year, Indiana was 48-34, and Detroit was 41-41. I say that Indiana and Detroit may be like a game behind each other, one or a game behind one, or either the Pacers or the Pistons. I think the Pacers will come up on top though, and then Detroit will follow.
Agree.
And then I think the Bulls will obviously do better than last year since they're 22-60. I think the Bulls could get like maybe 35-40 wins this year, maybe. And then the Cavs will stay on the bottom. They went 1963 this year for 232% for winning percentage. I think the Cavs will hit 23, 24 wins this season. But I don't see them winning any more than that.
Yeah, even with the addition of former Michigan head coach John Beilein, who led the team to former national championship appearances. Very interesting coach hire. I kind of wanted to just talk a little bit about that. Very interesting coach hire, coming straight out of college from, again, the University of Michigan. Did a really good job of turning that program back around in the 2000s in this decade. So really interesting to see him come over from college to the NBA like that. But he's taking over a team that is virtually like they have nothing. After LeBron James left and now J.R. Smith was put on waivers, this team has not really a whole lot other than young rookie Colin Sexton, or I'm sorry, I should say young second-year man Colin Sexton out of Alabama. I don't see much from them. I mean, even with Beilein's experience, there's just a couple other teams in that division that I still feel like are a good amount ahead of them.
I think also with the new coach coming straight out of college, you're gonna have that struggle, especially in like the first like year or two of a new coach. It's gonna be like you still have to get used to the coach even after like a year or two. So I say maybe in like 3, 4, 5 years, maybe the Cavs will get a lot better and like move up to be contenders again. But they also have to like go for the trades and like sign good players as well.
Right. I think that pretty much wraps up that division. What do you say? Which one? Atlantic next?
Yeah, you want to go Atlantic?
Almost called. So, yeah, that one is 76ers, Raptors, Celtics, Nets, and Knicks. This division, I think, is a little bit interesting in a way because of all the off-season moves that we saw heading into this year compared to what we saw last year. There's definitely some teams that decline, but there's definitely some teams that took a rise in this division. And I honestly don't think it's going to be a big surprise when I say the 76ers will want to win this division. I think they got a little bit better signing Ben Simmons, still having Embiid for next year. Also, keeping Tobias Harris was a good aspect for them. That trade kind of also came out of nowhere last year from the Los Angeles Clippers, but keeping him in their starting lineup will be important. Also, they added veteran center Al Horford from Boston, who also departed. Talk about them in a little bit. He's definitely going to help them in the paint, score some easy buckets, maybe even some three-pointers, long twos. I think the Sixers definitely did get a little bit better this offseason. I think that's enough to carry them to the top. Second place, though, that's tough. Honestly, that's a tough call. Because, I mean, I'd say we could all agree that the New York Knicks are coming in last.
Yeah.
I don't see them doing anything. But you got the Celtics, you got this Raptors, and you got the Nets. I honestly don't know. I could call it a wild card. Any one of those three teams could take second place. But I'm just gonna go random here. I'm gonna say Boston gets second. Adding Kemba Walker, I feel like I wouldn't call it a huge step up from Kyrie Irving, but I wouldn't really call it a massive massive step down either. He has led that Hornet squad for a while, so maybe he can carry on some of that momentum with Boston. Him playing next to Gordon Hayward, I think that's going to be a little bit of a deadly combo. Even Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Maybe that Boston team can do something. I mean, they never really got to showcase anything with Kyrie Irving. Maybe Kemba Walker was the right answer, but I still don't see them beating Philadelphia. I think Boston will come home in second. You know what? I'm going bigger. I'm going big here. It's go big or go home. I'm taking the Raptors third. I'm just not really that sold on the Brooklyn Nets. I'll be quite honest because, I mean, even adding Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's out, most this year.
Yeah.
He's in his early 30s. It's not like he's in his prime right now. I mean, yeah, he's one of the best scorers in the NBA. But when you look back at what has gone through, especially the last couple of years, injuries have plagued him a lot. And him coming back in the finals after that injury, that really hurt him because this injury is very serious, and I don't think he'll be the same player again. But now that leads Kyrie Irving to the same situation as he's going to have to play leader of that team, and I just don't think that suits his style very well. I don't think he'll fit that role well. And that's why I think Toronto will still be, even though they lost Kawhi Leonard, I still think they'll be ahead of Brooklyn in this situation because they got Lowry, they got Gasol, they have Van Vliet, they have Siakam. They still have a young core. Sure, Boston and Philly arguably got a little bit better, but Toronto didn't, other than losing Leonard, they didn't get really worse. I just don't see Brooklyn overcoming the situation of losing Durant and having Kyrie. I'm not sold on that.
KD was a gutsy move by KD coming back in that championship. I mean, I do respect him for it, but it probably did hurt him more than it helped him. It definitely hurt him more than it helped him. Yeah. So I don't think he'll be the same player as he was when he was with the Warriors in his prime. So, and then for the division-wise, obviously, like you said, we both can agree the 76ers will lead that division. Second place is really tough, but I know you said you didn't want to go with Brooklyn, but I think I might have to go with Brooklyn for second.
Respectable.
Just because I think Kyrie will actually fit really well with Brooklyn, and he'll help the team in offense, and then I think he'll play solid defense too, and that'll help the team win some more games. Last year they were 42-40, which is not that great, but I think
it's a huge step up for Nets standards.
Yeah, for sure. I think
compared to 10 or 15 wins.
I think Brooklyn could get 50, 55, 50, 51, 52 wins this year maybe, just with the addition. And then if KD comes back, I think that will also help the Brooklyn Nets a little bit. He may not be the same player, but KD said that he liked the system that the Nets played. So I think he'll really connect with that system, really thrive with the organization. Then for third, I got to go with the Raptors. They didn't really lose that much besides Kawhi, but I still think they're obviously really good still. They got all the players you named, Van Fleet, all the other guys. But I think Brooklyn will just be on top of the Raptors by maybe a game or two or three. But that's it. And then I think the Celtics are going to be fourth, and then obviously the Knicks will be last.
Yeah, I think second through fourth is definitely the biggest toss-up in the Eastern Conference, especially in that division, because I think that division could definitely put 4 teams in the playoffs like it did last year. I feel like it's going to be at least two or three for each other division. I think that division could easily put 3, definitely 4 in that in the playoffs. But it's just a matter of what the order is.
Yeah.
Because home court really does matter, and so these guys will definitely be fighting throughout the year to get those wins and really claim their spot in the postseason and get higher up so they could have home court. So I think that is a huge toss-up.
Yeah. It's gonna be an interesting year for the Atlantic Division, just because
so.
2 through 4 is literally a toss up. I don't even know who's gonna come up where. It's gonna be really close all around.
And we're just assuming that Philadelphia is going to win the division. I mean, of course, there's no guarantees Philadelphia wins the division. Philadelphia can come in second or third. We just both agree that, they upgraded maybe a little more than that others, and we're just putting them ahead. Boston can easily win that division. Brooklyn can easily win that division. Who in the world knows? Maybe Toronto can win. It's anybody's game. But
the Knicks aren't guaranteed last either. They could really surprise us and just go up like a spot or two. You never know until the games are actually played.
Right. It's a big players' game. Players control a lot. So we will definitely see with this very new way of playing and really just overall functioning of the NBA, what it's going to be like.
Yeah, for sure. You want to move on to Southeast now?
Southeast, so
that's Orlando Magic, Charlotte Hornets, Miami Heat, Washington Wizards, Atlanta Hawks.
Ooh.
This division was actually really close last year, especially
really
the first three teams.
Really close, but really bad. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
Didn't the winner last year was at like 500 or below 500?
Yeah, Orlando was 42-40, so that's a 512 percentage, and then second place is 476, and third place is 476.
And we just said that second through fourth is the biggest toss-up. This whole division might be the biggest toss-up in basketball.
Honestly.
I mean, hell, this is tough. But off the top of my head, if I'm going to pick someone to win the division, it's the Miami Heat. I think the one major reason is the big acquisition of Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
I think despite his kind of way of going about playing with different teams, how he's been so demanding and so just butting with everyone, especially the coach and other players, even though he's been like that, I mean, this is 4 teams in 2-3 years. I think his talent will be enough to put the Heat on top of that division, because that division was so close last year, and like you said, the winner was 42-40. I still think adding a superstar like Jimmy Butler will be enough for the Heat to clinch that division.
Yeah, no doubt. The Heat, I think, will definitely come in first with Jimmy Butler's addition, because the Heat were only 3 games behind the Magic last year, and like that whole division is awful. So, but I think Jimmy Butler, he obviously is really talented, like is a star in the making, or he is a star right now. So just that talent was bumped them up 2 spots to the number 1 spot.
Yeah, I think if I'm gonna have to go second place, I'm gonna have to go Wizards here. It really didn't work out for them last year because John Wall was hurt for a lot of the year. But that John Wall-Bradley Beal connection, it's not one of the main duos that we talk about, but it's honestly one that they're always around every year. And I feel like with the veteran coaching presence of Scott Brooks there in Washington, and I like this pick, drafting Rui Hachimura from Gonzaga. I like that a lot, and I think the Wizards are going to come back with a little bit of vengeance this year. I think they'll be second in the division. I think that it's going to be an up year for Washington. Bradley Beal just got a new contract, by the way. I think he also did get a max, but John Wall, I feel like he'll be healthy coming back. I see the Wizards as a close second behind the Heat.
Yeah, all those players are going to be like good playmakers and like I don't know what's the word, like they're gonna do like they're gonna be really good and like they're gonna help the Wizards go to
Yeah.
second.
Agree. I think though, if I'm gonna have to pick, if we're doing just each team pick by pick, I'm gonna go with the Atlanta Hawks for third. I think the Hawks are slowly on the rise among some of these younger teams, faster than we might think. I mean, trading up to pick DeAndre Hunter from Virginia in the draft was huge. I think seeing him play at that kind of level he was all season, and especially in the national tournament, I think that was a really smart pick by the Hawks. And also, you can't forget young shooter Trae Young. He is definitely going to be a superstar to watch out for. You never know. I think he could be one of those people that you might expect him to kind of be right there, but he could break out and be even better than people think. And also, 2 top 10 picks in the draft. DeAndre Hunter, I just mentioned, but Cam Reddish from Duke, another steal. I think, and there's more players. Those are the top 3 that come in my mind right now. I think the Hawks are on the rise right now. I think they're slowly moving up. I like this Hawks team. I don't think they're going to do it this year, but I think give it about 2-3 years maybe, I think the Hawks will be one of those teams that nobody really is going to be talking about, that is slowly rising in the division and in the conference.
Yeah, for sure. For my number 3, I gotta go with the Orlando Magic. They were the winners of the Southeast Division last year, going 42-40. They've got a couple re-signings this year. Like for example, they signed Khem Birch to a 2-year contract. They got Michael Carter Williams to re-sign. They also got Nikola Vucevic re-signing on a 4-year deal.
Oh, wait. Vucevic, wasn't he the one that went back to Europe, though?
Wait. Yeah.
Vucevic, yeah. That's why I have the Magic in fourth. I would honestly put the Magic in second, but I think Vucevic is a big loss for them going back to Europe.
I forgot about that.
A good amount.
I forgot that he went back to Europe.
Yeah. Honestly, that's a good loss for the Magic. I honestly feel a little bad for them. You can't blame him for going back to his home, but that might hurt the Magic a little bit.
I'm still gonna go with them for 3.
Oh yeah.
I think they could do it, especially since they won the division. Obviously, it wasn't that good. It wasn't pretty, but I think even though some teams got better, I think the Magic will just drop down that little bit.
They got a veteran coach in Frank Vogel left.
Yeah.
Who is coaching the Magic? Frank Vogel's coaching the Lakers now. I thought he was coaching the Magic. It might be someone else. I'm not sure. I think it's a veteran though who's coaching the Magic.
Steve Clifford is the Magic coach right now.
Steve Clifford, former Hornets head coach too.
Yeah.
Which I think we are agreeing on this too, that the Hornets are coming in last.
Yeah.
Division. I don't think they're anything with Kemba Walker.
They were second this year, but I think they're gonna be last this year.
Yeah, sad to see the Goats team kind of diminish before his very eyes. And yes, I am throwing it out there for everyone who's watching. There is no denying that he is the greatest player of all time.
For sure, no doubt. And then
come at me all you want. Come at us all you want, but stats are stats.
Yeah,
they don't lie.
Stats don't lie.
That's right. So I think that kind of wraps up the divisions. Maybe we should do a little playoff preview. Who's going to make the playoffs?
Ooh.
I'll go first. Do you want like number by number, like 1 through 8?
Sure. Let's go that route.
All right. 1 through 8. Eastern Conference playoffs. Seed by seed. Number 1, I gotta go with the Bucks. I think that's going to be a pretty popular pick. Number 2, I think I'm going to go with the Sixers on this one.
I agree with that one too.
Division winner. Number 3, I'm staying in the same division here. I'm going with the Celtics at 3rd.
I'll go with the Nets for 3rd, actually.
Oh, yeah, I think we both had the same division winners.
Yeah.
Number 4. That's tough because the Raptors and the Pacers are both right there. Maybe even I don't think the Heat will get that, but I'm going to go with the Raptors at 4. I'll put the Raptors 4th, same division again. That's tough. I'll put the Raptors 4th, Pacers 5. I'm going to be bold here. I'm going to put the Heat at 6. Division winner ahead of Brooklyn. Brooklyn, I'll put 7th. That division puts 4 teams in the playoffs. And 8th place, Wizards are going back to the playoffs. Sorry, Pistons. Adding Derrick Rose is not enough. I think John Wall, Bradley Beal, Rui Hachimura with Scott Brooks as the head coach. I think the Wizards are going back to the playoffs. That's my top 8 right there.
All right, so my top 8 is obviously Milwaukee, number 1, 76ers, number 2. 3, I'm going to go Brooklyn Nets. 4, I want to say it's between the Pacers and the Celtics, honestly. The Raptors. Well, I'm gonna go Pacers for 4, then Raptors for 5, 6. I'm gonna go Celtics. 7. I'm gonna go Detroit for 7.
Wow.
And bold move there.
Yeah.
And for 8, I'm gonna go Miami for 8.
So pretty much same thing as last year, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
That Southeast winner barely sneaks in the playoffs.
Barely.
Very, very interesting. I mean, we have a lot of sayings, but we have a lot of difference. Hey, I just want to throw this out there, guys. Comment what you think. Anything that we talk about, drop those comments. We want to hear what you guys think. Do you like our predictions? Do you think that there should be some changes? Let us know what you think. We want to hear your guys' feedback. We love hearing what you guys have to say. So don't feel afraid to drop those comments below. And let's continue the show. I think this is gonna be pretty fun. I mean, the Western Conference is
stacked.
They don't call it the Wild Wild West for nothing.
No. Which one do you want to start out with? You want to go Northwest?
Yeah. Which one's that one?
Denver Nuggets, Portland Trailblazers, Utah Jazz, Oklahoma City Thunder, Minnesota Timberwolves.
For sure. I'll go first again for this one. This one, it's tough. Not gonna lie, it's tough. But I think Denver will come out on top in this division, not by a whole lot. I think it'll be a 3-horse race this division in the end. But I think Denver's got some depth, and I think that'll carry them over the top. We got Nikola Jokic. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Big man there. Very, very good player. He's going to be leading them. Paul Millsap. Nobody really talks about him a whole lot. I think he will be a factor again. If he stays healthy, I think he's one of those underrated players that adds some veteran presence to the Nuggets. And Michael Malone, head coach, has kind of made a little bit of a rise. I like that there. I think Denver's got some good chemistry. I think Denver will win that division. This is a team that I don't really think people are giving much credit to, and they're not talking about. The Utah Jazz, I think they're going to take second, but I really like what the Jazz are doing this offseason. People want to talk about the Lakers, the Clippers, the Rockets, the Nets a lot. How about Utah? That trade for Mike Conley from the Grizzlies came out of nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. I think that pairing with Donovan Mitchell, which, by the way, I love Donovan Mitchell. I think he's a really, really rising superstar that, again, people are overlooking a lot. I think Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, that's a very good young team with Conley, total win with the veteran presence. And Quinn Snyder, head coach, I really like what the Jazz are doing here. I think the Jazz are going to be a team that maybe can make some noise and get some upsets in the playoffs. But I think they're going to be second. I think Portland's third. Like, again, I'm not trying to say that they're worse than them. I just think that those three teams are at such a good level right now. And I think Portland's third. I think Lillard and McCollum is a really good pair. They're going to be working good together. They are both staying very loyal to Portland, which I love. Also, they traded for Heat big man Hassan Whiteside. Who knows? That could be a big difference maker, too. They got a big man up front that could get some easy baskets. Well done, Portland, for that trade. No one's really talking about that either. Ooh, fourth and fifth, though. I don't know. I'm just going to say, I'll be a little nice to Oklahoma City. I'll put them fourth, and I'll put Minnesota fifth. Despite the fact I think Minnesota might have some more talent, I just don't know what's going on over there. There just doesn't seem to be really much of anything good, even though they got Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Wiggins.
Yeah, for sure. This division's definitely interesting. But for my predictions, I say I'm going to go with Portland Trailblazers for the number one spot. They went 53-29 last year and finished second. I also really like the McCollum and Damian Lillard duo right there. I think they're going to carry this team to a number one spot. They also got free agent Paul Gasol from Milwaukee and San Antonio last year. So I think he'll be a big rebounder for this team. And so that'll help them defensively. And then for number two, I'm going to go with Denver. Just because Denver finished first last year. But I think Portland will overtake Denver this year, and then Denver will drop down to number two. Number three, I got Utah. Then I'm going to go with, like what you said, I'm going to give OKC the fourth spot. Then I'm going to go Minnesota for the number five spot.
I also give Oklahoma City a little bit of an edge because what we talked about earlier, I think it's coaching too. Like you mentioned about John Beeline coming over, not really adjusting. That's actually something that I was going to point out later, is that their head coach, Billy Donovan, came from the University of Florida, which I don't know why. That's been my favorite college. He won 2 national championships there, back-to-back, actually. Well done to them back in the late 2000s. And came straight from Final Four appearance. He actually did really well transitioning to the NBA. He had some good talent to work with. But now most of that talent's all gone. They got a diminishing Chris Paul that is going to be starting there. I guess they got big man Steven Adams there as well. They don't have much, but like I said, I think I'm going to give a little bit of an edge to OKC. Despite talent-wise, Minnesota might have a better team. I'm giving OKC an advantage because I think that Billy Donovan is a really good coach who did very well transitioning to the NBA.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. He did a really good job, of coming to the NBA and doing just with all the players and everything. He did a really nice job of adapting to everyone, all of them, which I think made him successful as a coach so far.
I actually don't think many people know this. I'm going to throw this out too. I forgot if it was after one of the national championships or something. I forgot if it was the first one or the second one. He actually accepted the Orlando Magic head coaching job, Billy Donovan, right after they won either the first or second of the back-to-back ones. Then changed his mind and returned to Florida. So he almost was an NBA coach before, but then about 6-7 years later, he got his chance again and did not pass that up.
For sure. University of Florida always seems to win national championships in every single sport. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I believe they have 2 in basketball. Those were their first 2, and I think I heard they have 4 in football.
Yeah.
I mean, that 06 to 08 stretch, Florida won 2 basketball and 2 football with Tim Tebow and Urban Meyer, man. Those are some teams.
And those are incredible teams.
Tebow, arguably the greatest college quarterback ever. That's actually the reason why I did start liking Florida, because Tim Tebow was my favorite college football player. I'm ashamed he didn't really turn out to be anything in the NFL. I don't think his game really suited the NFL, though, that well. But
Yeah.
I think he's good at what he does as an analyst. And even, hey, part-time baseball player for the New York Mets. So,
Got to give kudos to him going from NFL to MLB.
well done for Tebow, yeah. He's a good man. Good man.
True.
Very talented, though, too. But, hey, maybe we should transition into what, the next division? Maybe
No, Pacific Division?
the most debatable division, if you want to talk about from a talent standpoint, probably in the NBA. Maybe ever. I don't know if I want to say ever, but in recent memory.
This has been definitely the most talented division right now in a long time that I've seen. Like, from top to bottom, like, this whole, like, division is, like, super talented. Especially off-season moves this year. I'm going to be really paying attention to this division this year.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can I go first for this division?
Go right ahead.
For the Pacific Division, I think Golden State will obviously win this division like every single year.
Really?
Yeah. I think just now that I'm just like used to like Golden State winning, but I think it'll continue for like maybe the end of this year, but like next year I think they won't be that top guy anymore. But then for the number 2 spot, I'm between the Lakers and the Clippers, to be honest. I'm gonna go with Clippers for number 2 spot with all the recent additions they've had. And then for number 3, I'm gonna go with the Lakers. Lakers just recently got LeBron James. They got DeMarcus Cousins, right?
DeMarcus Cousins, Anthony Davis. Danny Green.
That's right. I think 2 and 3 is going to be definitely the hardest to get in this division. I say I'll either go Clippers or Lakers or Clippers. I really can't pick just one team for number 2. I think maybe they'll end up with a tie. Maybe, who knows?
Good old-fashioned tiebreaker.
True. And I think the Clippers will come up on top during the tiebreaker if that happens. And then I think the Sacramento Kings are gonna be in 4th place this year, and then Phoenix Suns will be last again.
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, I'm shocked by these picks. I did not see that coming at all. Especially those top 3. I'm actually really, really shocked.
Really?
That your picks. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, because I think the Clippers are winning that division. No contest.
Gotta go bold or go home.
Yep. I think that the Clippers, everything's falling into place for them. I mean, they got Boardman, Kawhi Leonard there, who I think might be the best player in the NBA. Showed it in the finals.
No doubt. He's definitely the number 1 player in the NBA right now.
I think him definitely trying to coexist with Paul George, wanting him to come out to LA. I think that's going to be a really good team. And also, I want to throw this in too. I think the Clippers might be maybe the best defensive team in the NBA, because I think especially this combo of Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and Patrick Beverly. What a defensive nightmare if you're playing the Clippers. Like, that is scary good.
Honestly, that's brutal. Like, if you're the opposing team, that's brutal to face them.
And then you got Doc Rivers over there, head coach, who has experience with winning NBA championships, by the way. Boston Celtics, they won one, and I believe it was 2008. So I think the Clippers win the division, no contest. I think that they're going to win the Battle of LA. Like I said, that was shocking for me because I really thought you were going to say the Lakers are going to win that division with how much praise you've been giving them. But I'm putting the Lakers at second in the division, and I'll tell you why. I just feel like the whole LA vibe is really high right now. I know I've made some comments about LeBron James maybe not being everything that people say he is because his injuries and his age and his, pointing fingers at other people in the locker room. I think the vibe is going to be really good on that team this year despite all that. They made some, honestly, pretty interesting offseason moves, but I think, like I said, just the whole vibe of that team, that fan base is really going to bring this team together, and I think they'll find a way. Like I said, DeMarcus Cousins, Danny Green, Kyle Kuzma coming back. I think that's going to be really, really strong but interesting team. JaVale McGee also returns. I think the LAs are going to be 1 and 2, but I still think the Clippers are ahead of them for sure. But I think the Lakers will be second. I think that's from a talent standpoint, and like I said, just from a vibe standpoint, I think Lakers fans are really, really hyped right now, and I think that's going to be a huge reason why they put together a great season. Listen, I think the Warriors are coming in third, and it's not because I think they got worse, which I think losing Kevin Durant and DeMarcus Cousins made them get a little bit worse. I just feel like the Lakers and Clippers got better. Simple as that. But I'm really anxious to see what D'Angelo Russell brings to the table on this because you got Klay Thompson out for pretty much this whole season. So now it's up to what is Stephen Curry going to do with this team? He's been declared the leader of this team for a while now, but this is in his hands now. He's got D'Angelo Russell there now, who really hasn't been put in this role in a good team. And Draymond Green, who, say Curry's your leader all you want. I think Green is the emotional leader of this team.
Yeah.
He's obviously proven to be like a huge backbone for this team's flowing emotion and confidence. I think that'll play some role in that. But like I said, I just feel like the Lakers and Clippers got better enough to where they are surpassing the Warriors. And then fourth, I'm going to give Sacramento some credit. I don't think they'll be better than those three, but Sacramento is one of those other teams that I talked about earlier that they are young, and I think they're on the rise. They're just in a really bad spot right now with everything. The Lakers and Clippers and everyone else just got so much better. It's so hard for a young team like this to make a rise when you have all the superstars in today's NBA that just come in your division and kind of take over. But I think Sacramento will be a team that fights for a playoff berth. And then I think Phoenix comes in last. I don't really think they have much going on there other than Devin Booker.
For sure.
Sorry, Phoenix. Not trying to diss you out, but
I think this division's going to be four teams in this division is going to make the playoffs.
It's very possible.
Now let's move on to the Southwest. Between Houston, San Antonio, Memphis, New Orleans, and Dallas. Last year, the number 3 through 5 spot was a toss-up. They're all 20 games behind, 402 at winning percentage. So 3 through 5 was tied.
Yeah.
But for my number 1, obviously I think it's gonna be Houston. James Harden, I think, is gonna do what he usually does and just help this team get number 1. I don't see much going for the Spurs to make a run at the Rockets. Maybe they'll give them a little bit run, but I don't think it'll be that big of a run. I think the Rockets are just gonna be in like the sole possession of the number one spot. And then I think San Antonio is going to be number 2. And then I think 3 through 5 is going to be another toss-up. I think I'm going to go with New Orleans going for 3, the Pelicans. Then I'm going to go Grizzlies, and then I'm going to go Mavericks.
Interesting picks. Yeah, I 100% agree with you on the Rockets. I think that's not much of a contest for first place. I don't see them going anywhere. When you have two people who are explosive scorers in Russell Westbrook and James Harden on the same team, it doesn't matter how you coexist. You find ways to put the ball in the basket, and that's what the Rockets are going to do this year. When you, like I said, when you have Harden and Westbrook on the same team, two of the most insane scorers on.
Russ averaged triple doubles last year. It's insane.
Yeah. And the fact that Russell Westbrook isn't even in the top 5 in players in the NBA honestly kind of pisses me off, because the fact that he's averaged a triple double for the past 2 seasons and that's just being overlooked, I think honestly it's BS, because that dude plays. I'll say it. This dude plays his ass off. Like, you just see him go out there and he's just like, oh, I don't care. I'm scoring. I'm doing everything I can for this team.
Yeah. People give him so much hate, but like, I respect him because he got like triple doubles like every single game. That's all he did. He's demanding for the ball, but like
he dishes it out when he has to.
He dishes it out when he has to. He hustles everywhere on the court. He wants it. He wants everything.
That dude is a freaking maniac, I will tell you. I don't understand how people don't put him in top 5 or top 10, because the fact that the stat of averaging a triple-double for a season the last 2 years that's being overlooked, I think it's just ridiculous. Because, like I said, that's doing everything for your team. And I think honestly that trend will continue. I feel like him and Harden will obviously score a lot, but
in my book, he's number 4 for me.
Just to kind of see where you're at. Who is ahead of Westbrook? I think I can name those 3 players.
Who do you think I'm gonna go with?
Not in any particular order, but I think ahead of Westbrook, it's Giannis, LeBron, and Kawhi.
Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Harden's also in that contention, but I think Russ is better than Harden.
Yeah.
So I think Harden's number 5 for me.
Harden's a good player. I just think Westbrook can do more with the ball and is able to do a lot more with the ball. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Yeah, Russ. I was just gonna say Russ is like, he's determined. He's probably one of the most determined players in the NBA right now. He just does everything right, and just drives and drives and drives and works so hard. It's admirable.
He's a baller. So yeah, no doubt there that the Rockets are the talent standpoint of that division. I'm still going to go Spurs at number 2. I mean, sure, they still have Greg Popovich at head coach, but they've lost their pieces to the puzzle player-wise. Parker is gone. Ginobili's gone. Duncan's gone. The main thing they really have left right now is LaMarcus Aldridge. I mean, adding DeMar DeRozan last year was a good thing for them, but with other teams that have just slowly come up like that, it's been hard for San Antonio to really kind of still keep it going. Like I said, I still think the Spurs are a good team, and I still think Greg Popovich is a great coach. I just feel like with the way the game has changed, especially the last couple of years, it's been hard for the Spurs to keep up, because the Spurs are forced to change their way of playing, Popovich's way of coaching too, because of how other teams have started to evolve this more shoot really fast type of way, where the Spurs really were focused on main defense and setting up for the most part. But I feel like the Spurs are still a good team. They still have a lot of talent. Third place. honestly, this is a hard one because I think the Mavericks are a bit overlooked here. They have Luka Doncic, which he was for Rookie of the Year last year, very outgoing. I mean, that guy was a player too. I mean, him and Trae Young, that was a toss-up for Rookie of the Year. I really like Luka Doncic. I feel like he's a great player. But how about that Kristaps Porzingis trade? I mean, when he plays, I mean, he has shown that he is very deadly on the court. So I don't know the status of Porzingis right now. So I agree with you. I'm going to go with the Pelicans at third place. I don't feel like they completely lost that Anthony Davis trade. I feel like that actually helped them in a way. Because, I mean, they got a lot back from the Lakers. They got a lot of players. They got a lot of draft picks. And you know what? The franchise isn't taking it as, oh, yeah, screw Anthony Davis. We lost him. They're taking it as, you know what? Thanks. Thank you for everything you've done. And we're just going to build off it in another way. And I feel like the Pelicans are doing a good job of doing that. Yeah. Zion Williamson drafted number 1. Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart also throwing in there. And then I think you got who's their center? I can't think of their center. But I think the Pelicans have got a better team than people expect. But I think they're a third-place team at best.
Yeah, for sure. They got a lot of young talent, too,
they do.
Especially with that trade from the Lakers.
Definitely agree on that. And like I said, I'm going Mavericks. I would put Dallas maybe third out of the Pelicans. But like I said, I'm putting them fourth for now because I don't really know what the situation is about Kristaps Porzingis, if he's 100% healthy or not, if he's going to play. But like I said, I think Dallas is overlooked that Doncic and Porzingis could be a really, really deadly young core. With the veteran coach, too, Rick Carlisle, still there for Dallas. That'll be interesting. And then last place, they're stocking up on young talent too, I see, but I don't think the Grizzlies are going to be anything that special too. Like I said, I think they're obviously rebuilding. John Morant, Grayson Allen, Josh Jackson from Phoenix. They're obviously rebuilding, but I don't think they're going to be much this year. I still think they're last. I think where they'll be at in a couple of years, that'll be interesting. But I don't see them going anywhere too much right now.
Definitely in a few years they're gonna be up there, I think.
For sure. All right, it's that time again.
1 through 8, let's go.
And this, I can't wait to hear what you're gonna say because the East was surprising, especially with the way you picked that Pacific Division. I want to know what is the playoff picture going to be looking like. I want to hear yours first.
All right.
1 through 8.
So I'm gonna go Golden State for 1. Go Bold or go home. I'm gonna go Golden State for 1. Clippers 2. Lakers 3. Trailblazers 4. I'm gonna go Rockets 5. Nuggets 6. Then I'm gonna go. I think Sacramento's gonna squeeze in there for number 7. Wait, actually, I'll go Jazz 7, and then I'll go Sacramento's just gonna squeeze in there at 8.
Wow, so one team in that was it the Southwest Division?
Yeah.
One team makes it in. Very interesting. I think easy number 1, best team in the league this year. Los Angeles Clippers are taking home the Wild Wild West title. Clippers 1. I'm gonna go Denver at 2. I still like that team. I think they're not gonna go anywhere either. I think Denver will be 2. I'm gonna go Rockets 3rd, Lakers 4th, Jazz 5th. Ooh, this is where it gets tight. I think Portland will be 6th. I think Golden State will make it at 7th. I'm not counting them out. I think Golden State is going to make it, but They're going to be back there. I think Golden State will be 7th. And then, oh, man, Sacramento and the Spurs. This is going to be tough. Man.
Sacramento.
I really want to put them in there because I like the young duo, but I really have a lot of respect for the Spurs. I got to put the Spurs in at 8. But you know what? I think that 8th spot will be down to like a game or two. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like a blowout. I think it's going to be really, really close. But yeah.
So you're going Spurs or Kings for that 8th spot?
Yeah. Quick. Clippers. I'm trying to process this still if I got everything right. Clippers, Nuggets, Rockets, Lakers, Jazz, Trailblazers, Warriors, then Spurs. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
We have very different numbers 1 through 8 in the playoffs this year.
I'm excited to see how it goes down, though.
True. We usually think alike on a lot of stuff, but this is interesting.
There's just so much that can happen. Like I said, I mean, it's not even about like who's right and who's wrong. It's just a matter of opinion-wise. Stuff could go down in a completely different way.
For sure.
So I'm totally anxious to see what this brings up, and I kind of want to see who kind of falls in closer, because, I mean, we had a lot of similarities for NFL, but there were a couple differences, most notably Nick Foles, Jaguars #1. But I think the NBA, there's especially, like I said, a lot of stuff happened. This might have been the wildest free agency we've ever seen. And there's just so many different takes on it. You don't really – there's not one specific answer. There's so much that has happened.
Yeah.
People look at it in separate ways.
There isn't just like one super team this year like it has been in the past. Like I think 1 through 16, like 1 through 8, and then in each division, so like I think all 16 teams will have an equal chance of winning the trophy at the end of the year.
Agree. And I think that's mostly about it, right?
Yeah.
I don't really think of anything else. I mean, we're at an hour here, so we're doing really, really good. We got a lot in, so we can end it here.
Yeah.
All right, guys. This has been the end. This is the conclusion of our 2019 NBA season preview. You guys heard our opinions first here. Like I said in the middle of our video, comment below what you guys think. What do you like about our opinions? What don't you like? We want to hear from you guys. We want to know if there's anything we could change, anything we could improve on, and just what you like. What kind of content you want to hear from us? We want you guys to speak your mind and really say what you guys think. Like and comment. Really appreciate all you guys who are going to tune into this. Thank you so much for coming on. And again, follow our Instagram on the Spot Sports, all underscores, separate the words. Link is in the bio. All of our info is right there. So I hope you guys drop some opinions on that stuff as well. But on Spot Sports, anything else you want to say here?
Just like comment stuff in the comments below on our YouTube. It really helps us to like figure out like what you guys want. This channel is all about you guys pretty much. We just want to know what you guys want to hear, and we'll just record. I know for a fact that we got some pretty cool stuff coming up. Like tomorrow we're interviewing someone, or like he's coming on the podcast with someone who I work with is coming on the podcast, and we're just gonna sit back and just like chill, do some questions and all that. We also might get an interview with a professional hockey player, Jamie Phillips, in the next month or so. We also got a college hockey athlete coming on eventually when everything like cools down a little bit. So there's a lot to look forward to. But we also want to hear all your opinions and everything, since this channel revolves all around you guys.
For sure, for sure. All right, from On the Spot Sports, this is Tyler.
And this is Jack.
And we're signing out. Thanks for listening, guys.
See you guys.